Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I am doing okay here, but it was a very, very hectic weekend, I can tell you. Very, very, very hectic. I was talking to a friend of mine. His name is also Chidi, and I'm hoping to bring him on the show. Um, he's one of the people that we should hear and people should listen to, especially the younger generation in Nigeria. So I was talking to him, and he was saying, "Oh boy, I thought that this time is supposed to help us to rest. We're supposed to be resting, but you find out that you keep doing so many things, and it takes the rest away from you." Let me do small adjustment here. And there's some people that used to quarrel with me. Chidi, why didn't you finish that adjustment before you started? I like that. I like it when some people own this station. They own it. They're like, it's our own. We have to tell you what to do. Make sure make sure you don't talk too much. Make sure you don't adjust this one. Make sure you don't do this. I'm like, I see my God them. I know vex, so your boy, I'm just trying my best. I want to harass me every day. Okay, well, we got a good show for you guys today. It's um, it's so many things happening, so many things happening. But in spite of all that, I hope you're well. I hope your family is well. I hope the COVID-19 pandemic is not causing so much stress in your life. You must find a way to balance it, okay? Find something to keep your spirit alive, because as long as your spirit is alive, nothing can get you down. All right, and in saying that, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Please, please, please. We're shooting to get more than we are right now. Okay, help us get to 60,000 so that we can be more visible on YouTube, and the algorithm can spread our message. And also click on the notification bell so you get a prompting every time we're on with a new video or we do a live show like this. Today I want to talk about police brutality and protests home and abroad. And if you saw our poster or our flyer today, you would see that there were two ladies, on that poster, and that's where I want to start today, because this ladies, that's a trending story in Nigeria right now. They say charity begins at home, so I want to start the story from Nigeria. And you all know that in Nigeria, there's in fact, I've been running this scandal. There's this scandal I've been running, and you see it on the lower level, like you see it around here. Okay, we've been running this scandal for a while now. Um, this is what we're using to highlight the the killings that happened during the Biafran Nigerian Civil War. But we're also using that to remember so many people who are losing their life, as a result of the COVID-19. People have lost their lives as a result of that, and then recently, as a result of police brutality. But the funny thing is, COVID-19 kills so many people, thousands of people. It just hit me right now that I'm talking. I didn't think about this before. I didn't plan it for my show, but COVID-19 killed hundreds and thousands of people, hundreds of thousands. And there was no riot. You have small riots here and there, I agree, even in Nigeria, in the US, in China. Okay, there was small riots. But one man is killed by the police wrongly, by a stupid, crazy policeman. Not that the whole police force is bad. No, I am a member of the police community consultative committee here, so I work with the police as a community um, as a community servant here. So we relate with the police perfectly well, and I can tell you a lot of times that the police has good intentions, but one bad member of the police force brings a bad rap for the whole of the police force every time. And so when this stupid police guy kills one person, George Floyd, there is protest all over the world. What does that tell you? That tells you that injustice, people frown at injustice. One life that was once. That is Tina and Owa. You guys know before this period, a lot of killings were going on as a result of police wrongly attacking the citizens of Nigeria. And this girl, Tina, very little girl, why her own is painful, I saw the video, I can't even show it here. It's that this girl is just managing, selling second-hand clothes in Okereka. Okereka, not even, just trying to earn a living. And they come there, I don't know what happened, small argument, the policeman shoots her in the leg. I'm wondering, was he joking? Did he think that the bullet will not work? Or they do it all the time. Nigeria police with their guns cocked. They'll be saying, I will shoot you now. And this time around, he actually shot this girl. Now, the first time I saw the story, or the first time I heard the story, I thought, they shot her and she died on the spot. And that's where some people will say, oh, why are you connecting these stories? I'll tell you. First of all, this one, it was a policeman that shot her. But now this policeman shot her, and you would think that, knowing that they've shot somebody, they would do something. Not the ambulance, not police car or anything, but they carried this girl. When I heard they shot her, I thought they shot the girl and she died on the spot. No, it was on the leg. The video showed them carrying her up. Somebody, you can shoot somebody on the leg and they can cut off the leg and the person will leave. Sometimes they've even shot somebody in the head and they lived. They carried this girl to the first hospital. And they said, oh, they needed police reports. But I was wondering, since it was the police that shot this girl, shouldn't they have followed these people to the hospital? Shouldn't they have been the ones trying to make sure that this girl is taken care of? No? When they got to the hospital was busy asking them for police reports. Anyways, to cut the story short, by the time they moved from one hospital to the other, this girl did not get immediate first aid and attention that she should get. And by the second day, she died. Police is culpable, as they will say it in law. They are responsible for this girl's death. Okay, now that you killed the girl, how does it correct whatever it is, whatever offense you thought she was committing? You see that? The next one, I'm talking about injustice. In fact, this should be police brutality, injustice, and protests, home and abroad. That's what it should be. But the second one is not directly connected to the police. But then it will somehow connect insecurity to the police force or anybody who is in charge of security. This other girl, Owa, first year student, in the university in Benin. She was at school. I will tell you what all these stories remind me of when I was growing up, or in the past when I was still in Nigeria. This Owa's case, she stayed back because she did not want to. She did not want to be distracted if she's at home reading. Some people might say, "Oh yeah, she stayed back in school. Oh, now she knows what she did do." Oh. But she stayed back to read to make sure that she passed. Very serious-minded person. To show you that she was really serious about wanting to stay a place out of the house. When she came back, when her parents told her to come back home, and she went home to stay with her parents, she still felt like finding a place that is calm and quiet where she could study. And she went to church, and she was studying in church. And according to the story, while she was studying, 4 men came, raped her, used the fire extinguisher to knock her on the head. And it took, because church premises, they only have security in the night. There's usually no security during the afternoon. It only took the security guard, when he came to his night duty that evening, it was him that actually saw the girl lying there and then raised an alarm. And that's how this promising young girl died. What is annoying people, what is very, very annoying to people, because we're talking about injustice, is that you would have thought, because this girl died in church, in a redeemed church, you would have thought that there will be a statement from the church, from the headquarters of the church concerning this incident. Nothing was said about it. And so it got people very, very annoyed. And so that's why they say justice for Owa. And in the case of Tina, people are also so annoyed for so many reasons. Number one, they're annoyed with the police for shooting this girl. Number two, they are annoyed with the lack of emergency service in Nigeria. And they are annoyed with the hospital. Of course, emergency service starts from when you dial 911, and when they respond and they get to you, and the speed at which they respond, and the speed at which they carry the person, and the facilities that they have to at least administer first aid, and how quickly they're able to get you to the emergency unit, trauma unit of the hospital, or emergency unit of the hospital, and what facilities are in the hospital to make sure that they get to work to save that life. But from all of these kind of stories, it seems like the value of life is too little in Nigeria. Life is not valued at all. Some people will say, Chidi, don't always highlight the bad things that are happening in your country. Yeah, the same way they also told me when there was a case of coronavirus in my village. A man came in from somewhere out of ignorance, we later found out. And I came and spoke about it, and everybody a lot of people were like, Chidi, why did you should have hidden it. Now people who said that our village. So you see, we don't do that. We don't roll like that. The more you hide these things, that's the more problem you have. And besides, there are people whose job it is to do image laundering. We have our job is cut out for everybody. My job is not image laundering. Worship media is not where we come and dress and make you happy. Is where we can make you happy too. If you see the opening video we have on our channel. Yes, we also come to make you happy. But we just want you to we just tell you the truth as much as we can. That's what we do. And so that's why we keep on highlighting these things, because we do not agree that this is how things should be. This young girl, I'm not God. I'm not saying that people don't die out of bullet shot wounds elsewhere, but looking at the case, you will agree with me that this young girl should not have died, would not have died if things that were done differently. People are very, very angered at this same thing that keeps happening, that when someone comes to the hospital, they won't touch them until they get a police report. Where? Isn't there a code of medical practice? Somebody please tell me, what does it say? What's the international code? What's the international guideline for taking care of people when there's an emergency? I thought that what you do is, first of all, you save the person, you stabilize the person before, even if you need police report, why don't you, once you start, this person can't run again now. Sometimes they're even unconscious, sometimes they're bleeding, why would they run? Okay, if you think why don't you get your security department in the place to hold them down? Maybe, if you want to handcuff them, what, don't you guys restrain people? Don't you even have like what they call injections that make people pass out? Why don't you call the police while you're trying to save that life, so that the police will come and take over? But you keep doing this until the person dies. I'll tell you a story why I told that I can relate with this case. I'm gonna have to get a glass of water soon, because like I told you, I'm still recovering from a hectic weekend. So I don't want to get up and get a glass of water, but I'm gonna do that. Or I'm gonna get help from my bosses once they hear it, from wherever they are monitoring me. All right. So let me tell you my story that sounds like this Justina's case. So it was in Enugu, and I was using a panel van. Those of you who know a panel van, Toyota 120Y, I was using that to do kabu kabu. And some people are thinking, really, Chidi, you did kabu kabu? Yes, so I did kabu kabu well. And then I had dropped people, I loaded people from IMT to Gariki, for those of you who know where I'm talking about. And when I got to Gariki after dropping passengers, I was going back empty because I had closed for the night. And I saw some people gathered in front of the army barracks. And these people that gathered, they were gathered on the other side of the road. Thank you. They were gathered on the other side of the road. And I stopped. I stopped my car, and it was funny. I stopped where okay, let me explain. The left side of the road and the right side of the road. I'm on the right side of the road, and people are gathered there. But they're all gathered and they're pointing at something on the other side of the road. And when I looked there, I saw that a young man had been knocked down on the road. And this man was screaming, I turned my vehicle and I went to this man. This was like 1993. So I stopped my vehicle. I turned my vehicle and I went to that place. And this man was reading in pain. He was screaming. He was saying, "Help me, help me, help me." The people were on the other side of the road looking at him. So I started begging the people around. I said, "Please, somebody help me. Let's get this man into the car." So two people came and they helped me, and we put this man into the car. And when we put this man into my car, when I turned around, I was the only one on that side of the road. Even the two people that helped me, they had crossed over to the other side. And this was in front of the army barracks. The army men who were in the front of the guarding the army barracks gate, they were looking at us. So I was the only one now stuck with this person inside my vehicle. I thought about what to do. I knew that this police thing, they always say before you can go to hospital. So I raced down to the police barracks there in Gariki. Once I got, and this guy kept, what I did was I was driving with one hand, I was using one hand to hold this guy. So we got to the police barracks. Once we got to the police barrack, luckily the guy, that's when I even understood what happened. When they say it was hit by a car, I thought it was a small car. I saw a tipper that was parked in front. You know, a tipper, for those of you who don't know what's a tipper is a big truck, a dumper that you use to carry sand and stones. That was what was parked in the police barrack, and this truck was what actually hit this man. Can you imagine? So it was a miracle that he was still breathing. And the driver was there. The driver was there begging the police, please, I think I killed somebody. I killed someone in Gariki in front of army barracks. Please, somebody go there. Can you imagine that all of that time that the people were gathered and watching this guy, the driver was already at the police station begging them to go and see what he did. And the police was still negotiating with him that there's no fuel in our car. We need to go now, guy, and now only two people there for station. Who go come out? You go bring money or make we take to organize this thing before we go. Maybe you get motor. Where the motor where you think say we go just leave. All of that was going on all of this time. It was only when I came and they saw the guy that they now entered the vehicle. One of them entered. First of all, they said, carry now, make that report give you. I said, no. I think one of you should come into the vehicle. One of them now came into the vehicle, and the brother of the driver who came to report himself was also in the vehicle. They were at the back. I drove them to the nearest hospital. When we got to the hospital, they said, card, no card. I said, I will pay for the card. Can you start treating this man? They looked at him and said, Oga, this one too bad though. But they didn't even tell me immediately. After they have gone through filling the form for the card and wasting all that time, say, okay, we can't treat this man. No, you have to take him to orthopedic. We drove to, oh my God, looking back now, I can just imagine. This is maybe about 1 hour or 2 hours later. We were coming to orthopedic. Somebody said, no. If you go to orthopedic, they will not treat you. Orthopedic, National Orthopedic Hospital. So they will not treat you. Go to one private hospital there. That's where the doctors that will be in orthopedic hospital, that's where they are. That's the private hospital where they will be working. So long and short, we went to this other private hospital by orthopedic hospital in Enugu. They took this man upstairs. We went upstairs. They took him inside the room. They were cleaning him up. They gave him some injection to stabilize him. So after a while, I asked the nurses, can I go in and see him? They said yes. I went in to see him. So when I got in to see him, he just turned around. He looked at me. He stretched his hand and I held his hand. And I said, brother, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as he was saying thank you, he just passed out. Guy just died there. So I just came out and I called his brother and I called the nurses. They went in there. They rushed in there. And then they said he was dead. That image stayed in my heart. I could see that image in my dream, in my sleep for a very long time. Because I knew that guy, maybe he would have survived if there was something like 911, if there was something like ambulance, if there was immediate help. But that is the situation in Nigeria. That is just what happens in Nigeria. I don't have anything against people who are protesting against what is happening in America. Black Lives Matter and all of those things. I don't blame Nigerians writing about it, because all over social media I see a lot of Nigerians making comments. I even heard that there is a protest that is being organized in Nigeria against what is happening in America. And I know if I say this, people will misunderstand me. But I'm saying, like, we never finish with the problem when we get for our own place. Did you see the riots? Did you see the amount of people that came out in the US to riot in the US about something that is happening in the US? If you want to come out and riot, why don't you think we should come out and riot about the things that are happening in Nigeria? Isn't that what we should be doing? If we're saying justice, let's do justice for Tina first now. Let's do justice for what? Let's do justice for all the wrongful killings that are happening in Nigeria. We're doing this thing like fashion. We just want to be, yeah, man, I stand for Judge Floyd, man. Anyway, you can even blame me too, because there are killings that happen here in Toronto. Houdini, a young and upcoming artist, was shot here, not by the police, but that is a case that is happening here. A lady, the family claims that she was pushed down from a 24-story building. It's happening here in Toronto. Riots are happening. Demonstrations are happening here. You see, issues are being localized everywhere. So how come in Nigeria we are drinking Panadol for other people's headache? I don't know how police brutality in the US should be causing problem. No, people have a right to express themselves. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, let's make sure that we are not misplacing our priorities. We have enough problem being given to us, and by us I mean those in Nigeria, by those in authority. Why don't we direct our attention at them? I think that's the most reasonable thing to do. If you ask me, that's what I think we should be doing. That's what I really think we should be doing. So that's really what I want us to focus on. That's the basis for my program today. It has almost become like a regular feature for us to have people calling, and today I promised that I wasn't going to stay long, so I will not stay long, but I'll give a chance for anybody who wants to call in. The number will be up in the chat room, but I can tell you it's +1 647 989 2837. So you can call and tell me what you feel about it, about protests in Nigeria, concerning police brutality in the US, and ignoring police brutality in Nigeria. Call in and tell me what you think. We're not going to have too many callers today. Call on the direct line. We have a lot of interesting interviews coming up this week. On Wednesday, we're hoping to have the president of the Igbo World Congress. We're going to be having him as our guest. On Saturday, we're going to get a little bit softer with our talk here as we chat with Chaz. You guys know MC Chaz is going to be here on Saturday talking with us. But please give me a call now, +1 647 989 2837. Let's talk about justice for Tina and justice for Owa. These two people lost their lives. What is annoying is that they are promising young people, very promising young people, and they lost their lives in circumstances that is very, very annoying to Nigerians. And so Nigerians are so upset and they are demanding justice for these two people. So give us a call and let us know what you think about it. Let us know what you think about Tina, and then let us know what you think about OWA. Okay, we extend our heartfelt condolence to the families of these people, to the families of OWA and the family of Tina, for losing these ones at a very, very young age. There is no age that somebody should die, and it feels good, but when young people like this die in their prime, it is very, very painful. So we sympathize with the families of these young ones, and we very vehemently condemn police brutality, and we ask that the police in Nigeria make sure that this man who shot Tina is brought to book. Okay, they should make sure that he is brought to book. And in the case of OWA, we want to make sure that the police arrest. They should do their investigation and arrest the people who killed this promising young lady. I mean, we need to learn to stand up and fight for our own rights. It is good to fight for what is happening in another person's country, but man, you cannot. People have a proverb. Onye ọkụ na-agba na bịa ada achụ oke. You don't go chasing rats when fire is burning in your house. The rats run out of your house and you pursue the rats. They enter bush, they enter other places. No, you leave the rat and you save your house. So things are happening in the U.S. U.S. is taking care of themselves. They are debating about it. They are protesting. They are rioting about it. By the way, just to let people know, because say we sabi to copy. If you are gonna start a protest in Nigeria, a protest against injustice, I want you to remember that being violent is not a way of making your voice heard. If you become violent, then you actually take away from what you are standing up for. And to let you know that all those violence you see in America and those protests is actually other people that are perpetrating all those acts to make the Black Lives Matter movement and other movements, civil liberty movements, to make them look bad. So don't go and copy them and begin to break things and say, if they ask you what's happening, you say, see now, they're doing it in America. I remember my cousin, I hope he's watching now, when he was much younger. He organized a funeral for Tupac in Nigeria. He went and bought a coffin, him and his friends, and they were crying. And they did a funeral for Tupac, and they were crying seriously in Nigeria. Tupac, let me just leave it there. So if there's a caller who wants to make a contribution, I will take the call. Remember that we'll continue to let this candle stay, so that we will remember all the people. So many people have lost people. So many people, honestly. There's always a reason to burn this candle. People that were lost to COVID-19, plenty of them. Other people that were lost to police brutality. Other people that were lost to terrorism from Boko Haram and Fulani headsmen and other people who don't have value for life. So many that we have lost. So we'll continue to to burn that candle. And while we're doing that, just to remind you that on Thursday, which is so actually on Wednesday, we'll be sitting here to talk with the leader of the World Igbo Congress in the person of Professor Anthony Ejiofor. We're going to have him here. And a lot of people have been saying, hey Chidi, when are you going to bring other people here? You know, I told you I was going to go back to my roots and start this in-depth investigation, start to know, you know, my own people, our history, and all of those things. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that, you know, through Nnamdi Kanu and through a lot of people, I've been able to learn a lot of our history. You'll be surprised. Honestly, don't take these things for granted. I've been learning a lot by just, you know, pulling back and going to study what is happening in my environment, in my village, amongst my people. I've learned so much. But also, we are going to bring in people from other places. What do I mean by other places? We're going to bring in people from other regions of Nigeria, other tribes of Nigeria. We're going to bring somebody from the Middle Belt or Benue State. His name is Appeal. He's going to be coming for interview here on Thursday. And like I told you, on Wednesday we have Anthony Ejiofor. Also on Saturday, that'll be the icing on the cake, so that we just switch gear a little bit. We're gonna be having MC Charles. You guys know MC Charles. MC Charles. MC Charles is gonna be here to talk about so many things. We'll just talk about so many things that young people, old people, young at heart. We'll talk about so many things that you want to hear people talk about. That's what we'll be doing. We'll touch everything. We'll touch relationship. We will touch insecurity, police brutality. We'll touch the COVID-19. We'll touch activism, bad and good government. We will touch all of those things. So please make sure that you make it a date with us, so that we can all have a good time. There'll be a chance for you guys to call in. Don't worry. We'll give you a chance to call in that day. So the lines are open. Please remember, the lines are open. You can call in and make your contribution. We always do this because a lot of you come back and say, oh, I tried to call, I couldn't get through. It pains me that when somebody actually tries to call and make a comment and they're not able to get through. But you also know that it is difficult for me to kind of get everybody to call. It's not easy. So I also crave your indulgence that when we try to do these things and it doesn't work out, you try to understand that we're just trying our best. Okay? So I'm still trying to see that we give somebody a chance to talk. But if there's nobody, then we will close the show. Let me show you. Let me just put up this poster for what we're doing on Wednesday. I'm gonna put up the poster for what we're doing on Wednesday, so that you guys can make sure that you spread the news for us, and invite as many people as possible. We're just trying to make sure that we don't leave any issues untouched or we don't neglect any issues that are important to our people. And you can also write us or send us a text with a suggestion about who you want to come on the show. I reached out to Asarido Kubo, so we were hoping that we would have brought him on the show long before now. It hasn't happened. We'll continue to do that to see whether we can bring him on the show. Now, this is what we're going to be doing on Wednesday, 2 days from now. They are also trying to raise money, so there'll be a GoFundMe event so that people can also, try to support the fundraising that they are doing. Okay, so watch out for that, and please make sure that once we spread the poster, we'll soon spread it. Maybe after this show, we will spread the poster so people can share it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna show you one last poster, and we're gonna be done for today. That's the one from MC Chaz. So when I say these things, you know that yes, for real, that's what we're doing. Okay. So I'm just putting it down so I can bring it up for you guys to see. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up and show you. Maybe some of you don't know who is MC Chaz. Well, I think you should go and Google him. Google MC Chaz, so you're not we don't say you're a Jew man when you don't know what every other person knows. Okay? Sometimes we just talk about issues in a way that it is so hard and it's so uncomfortable, and people don't even want to listen you talk about these issues again. So I want to invite someone who is good at communicating what he's saying. So I'm going to bring MC Charles to come and help us and talk about a lot of issues that I know are bothering you. It's going to happen on Saturday, right here in this on this our channel. And the good thing is all of these times are the same thing: 3 p.m. Nigerian time and 10 a.m. in Toronto, Canada. So please keep a date with us on Saturday when we chat with MC Charles. On Thursday, we're going to be chatting with Mr. Appeal, who is, let me tell you about him. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't load you with too much information because, well, let me show you. Mafo Appeal is one of the founders of MAFO, which is movement against Fulani occupation of lands in the Middle Belt. MAFO, movement against Fulani occupation. Oh, okay, you guys are seeing what I'm putting up, so that's good. So let's go back to him. That's him. Okay, that's the person that I will be having on my show. That's the man. Yep. Okay, I have a caller. Good. Yes, please go ahead and tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, my name is Chukuma Iwuzia, and I'm calling from Texas.
Okay, Chukuma, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, sir. And thank you so much for the good job you are doing.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to briefly talk about the way our people behave. Killing of any kind, of any soul, is not acceptable, no matter the circumstance.
Yep.
What happened in America is very unfortunate. what is happening in Nigeria is doubly unfortunate and triply unfortunate. And yet, nobody is raising any voice. Nobody is doing anything about it. Anytime something happens in U.S., whether election, whether violence, the whole world watches, and to them it serves as a form of maybe entertainment or something like that. But when it comes to their own backyard, they come out with so much primitivity, killing people, shooting people. People are lined up in front of the White House protesting. Nobody has been shot with a live bullet.
Yes. So.
Try that in Aso Rock. Whoever is in Aso Rock, BRUTAL1TY will come out with jets and kill people, and even go ahead and kill people from the east.
Well, hold on one second. So, guys, just to let you know, the person you're seeing right now on your screen is a Nat Appeal. Nat Appeal will be on our show on Thursday to talk about the political situation and the insecurity and marginalization or other things that are happening in the middle belt. You know, we've been hearing a lot from people of the east, southeast. So now we're going to bring in somebody from the middle belt just to show you that the same thing is happening all over the place. So I just wanted you guys to know who we have on the picture who we have on your screens right now. Okay, my brother, sorry for that interruption. You can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for that information too. We will be watching.
Thank you.
The point I'm making is that every time killing goes on in Nigeria, Nigerians are forced to think in a parallel line. They think along. Oh, it doesn't affect me, so it doesn't matter. They kill people in Benue State, nobody cares. They kill people in the southeast, they are now killing, nobody is asking questions. The media is not doing anything. But let something happen, go to Channel TV now, everything about America is there. Nigerian newspapers are reporting it. They are entertaining their people, they are entertaining their audience. What it boils down to is it shows lack of milk of human kindness for their fellow black people. That is one. Secondly, it shows a very highly timid press, no matter how educated they claim they be. Thirdly, it shows a press without ethics. Now, we've been watching what is going on in America. CNN is all over the place. They want to rubbish the American president, but they cannot succeed because the truth will eventually come out. All these things are coming because of their election coming in future and so on and so forth. Nigeria is going to jump into it and make feast out of it, whereas in their backyard, more heinous crimes are being committed officially, deliberately, on people who are under that space called Nigeria, and nobody is saying anything about it. It makes the country qualify to be called a jungle or animal zoo. Zoo, as my leader of indigenous people will always point out. It calls for worry that nobody, people who should report those things don't do it. And for that reason, I pray that people like you, who is using the worship media to make sure that whatever is hidden is brought to light. I can tell you, your media, your platform is my idol. I want to be following it because people are giving us what we need to see, what we need to know, and that is what counts. Let them continue to play the cover up. Let them continue to be selective in what they report. The shame will always be be on them. And one other thing finally is that whatever we work here in life, we will account for it. You will account as a president of a country. You will account as a military man. Did you kill and rape people when the military law says you shouldn't do that? You will account as a policeman to kill unarmed people. You will account as a politician who swallowed the money meant for development of each and every one of us are going to account. You will account as a teacher if you taught your students to be timid or not to reason properly. You will account when you deliberately, and that is what is happening in Nigeria, keep people in ignorance. All of them in Nigeria are thinking like cattle rearers. You just think one way. It happens to Mr. Bio, it doesn't matter, it's not me. Tomorrow is going to happen to you and nobody's going to talk about that. Please, Worship Media, continue the good work you are doing.
Thank you so very much.
I don't watch you on cell phone device. I watch you on big television screen.
Hey, so you're seeing my big nose.
Yes, it's not a big nose. I give glory for your nose. I'm watching you. There is no difference between what you have in your backdrop, the setting, from what BBC or CNN is offering. You people, I know what I'm saying. You people have matched them, and you continue to improve.
Thank you.
No matter the glitches you have.
Thank you.
Future, you are destined for greatness.
Thank
That's
you
what
so
I want
much.
to say.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate. Bye. The guy said, say we don't reach like CNN. Say we don't match up to CNN. So all you people that are there thinking that we are before you see, we not see our brake light too. That time you be calling me. Say, hello Chidi. I say, hold on, talk to my secretary. He say, waiting. I say, no, do I have interview with you? Now I they call you the big guy. Better take me serious. You see me now, we are CNN, BBC. I think you hear her. Now, don't come and tell me that me and you, we used to do something together. Better come and support me. Subscribe. That time when we get the money, we'll share them among subscribers. No, thanks to the last caller for trying to encourage us. Those are the kind of things that makes you continue to do what you do, and we keep apologizing for our glitches and times when we don't get it perfectly, but we'll keep trying. Guys, unfortunately I won't be taking any more calls because we just want to cut the thing short, and I don't want to stress myself more. Like I said, it was a very hectic weekend, and I'm going to go prepare for. We have heavy lineup of very heavy people. If you see the kind of people that we're bringing to our program, you will be impressed. Let me just tell you, we're going out and we're fishing, but these people are very busy. So we just keep crossing our fingers and we'll keep praying that the days and the times that we have them on our show, that they'll be available. But please, if you don't subscribe, when this show comes on, you will not know. Okay, so please subscribe. You also need to help us share, because what we talk about in our program is not the kind of thing that YouTube readily shares. In fact, YouTube will ignore us as much as possible. That's why we're begging you. If we were doing a show that says, and this is how the woman can do to the man, and the man do the woman, and the sweet the woman, sweet the man, and all those kind of things, you see our video will be all over the place. But because we are talking hard something, because we are hitting the people that are bad people, because we are hitting them and calling their names, YouTube is always telling us, this kind of content that you're producing is again. Every day they are flagging us. Every day they are telling us to change this, change that. We know where it's coming from, but the truth is the truth, and we'll continue to say the truth. And if all the people who believe in the truth support us, we're fine. Everybody must support us. You can't come and tell us to change so that we'll be accepted. No. we have our crowd, we have our people, then do for us. And so we really appreciate all of you that are supporting us. Please take care of yourself and always remember that we love you when we say we love you. We truly, truly, truly love you. On behalf of myself, on behalf of my wife, Dr. Erica, on behalf of my kids, Ijoma and Kene, our Oga in the family, we want to say we love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.